Happy Monday, BookShark BootCamp. It's your community manager, Jana. Today is Monday, August 25th. For some of you, it might be your first day of school, and I say congratulations. Also, reminding you, make sure you take those first day of school pictures. I know that it's something that is you're getting everything together and you're implementing a new homeschool program. It might slip your mind, so I'm here once again to remind you, take those pictures. You will thank yourself later at the end of the year when you get to take the end of the school year photo and see how much your child has grown. So if you get a chance, maybe you've already started and you forgot, it's okay. We don't know what day you started. Just make sure you take a first day, first week, first month of the school year picture so that you have it. We'd love to see it if you want to post it, but I get not wanting to post your kids online. So just so that you have it for your own posterity as you look back over your year, I think it's really important to have. So today's Q&A, the session 8 was about balancing at-home work, socialization, and outings. I hope you guys found that really encouraging, just finding ways to just make all of this work. And because you can homeschool your way and you have so much flexibility with BookShark, you really can make it work to suit and fit your family. There were a few questions. There was a few things posted that I just want to go ahead and answer very quickly today. First, there was a question about the handwriting schedule, and there was a link on our main page that had an error, and I do believe that error is fixed. I just want to let you guys know, as this boot camper and I were having a discussion, I was responding, and she was not seeing it. So there's glitches in the systems and people's internets and all of these things. So please reach out either to myself with direct message, maybe respond and tag me and say that you sent a direct message, because even in Facebook, I don't necessarily see the direct messages all the time. They kind of hide them. It's really interesting. But also, I just want to encourage you to reach out to our customer service. They are phenomenal. They really respond quickly, get those questions answered. Some people like the telephone, some people don't like the telephone. We have options to text your questions, you can email, and you get a response typically within 24 hours. So if you post something and I don't get back to you, or maybe I did get back to you, but you didn't see it, please know that our customer service is really responsive and is there to take care of you and make sure that your experience is really quality with BookShark. So there, I'm going to go ahead and check again the link for the Handwriting Without Tears schedule that I did place in answer to the question to Shannon, but I want you guys to know that there is a schedule for handwriting. It's also depending on which language arts you picked and which book you picked. So I will go ahead and make sure that I'll put the link in this video, in the Q&A video, so that everybody can see it. There's also been questions about math schedules. And let me say, I did misspeak in one of the first sessions when I was talking about math schedules. BookShark does not provide the math schedules because we offer 4 different types of math if you purchased from us. And while history, language arts, and science are our curriculum, we've created, we have the writers, we have the product developers. With math, we've chose to partner with 4 different companies. So we didn't put in a schedule because we don't know which math you're going to go with. And they each have their own methodology and how they explain how to work through their program. The other thing about math is that it's go at your child's own pace. And that's the beauty of homeschooling. You don't always get that when you're in a school setting, right? You have to follow the schedule of the teacher, which is mandated by the admin. So the beauty of homeschooling is that you can go through it as your child needs it. If you go quicker, that's great. If you have to slow it down for certain concepts, even better. You are there to make sure that your child is taught math properly, which is why you got to choose which math works best for your child, and then also how to set it up to make it work best for your child. And I know that seems contrary because in the BookShark curriculum it is very clearly mapped out days and weeks. And even that, you guys can, I've said again and again, make sure that you go at your pace and do what works for you and your family. But it does feel good to have an understanding of, okay, how am I going to get through this, that roadmap, that end in mind? And when you don't have that for math, I can understand that it gets a little bit tricky for you. So you can go to the actual vendor. So if you have Math UC, Singapore Math, Singapore has 2 different versions, so make sure you have the correct version. There's primary, and then there's the US 2022 edition. I believe those are the two editions. If you're with the charter, you might have a different edition, but those schedules should be available, or you can reach out to the company directly to ask them for a schedule. We say we'd have like a standard, like one lesson a day that will get you through. Math UC, I believe, has 5 lessons per for like the week, and we're only 4 days a week. So you can look at that and decide as you understand their methodology what's going to work best for you. Sometimes I have my girls do math 5 days a week, but it also was a subject they weren't incredibly strong in. And so that worked for our families. But again, flexibility. So if you're having trouble finding a schedule, I would encourage you to reach out to our customer service. They will respond with the standard, we don't create a schedule, but here's what we recommend. One lesson per day as you work through the program. You can also reach out to the company directly, Matthew C, Singapore, Saxon, or Right Start. And then if you cannot find your way with any of that, we do have a virtual seat option. And inside the virtual seat online platform, there is a guide as to how to get through the math. And you upload the math to the virtual seat. It is not specific to the company as far as like it doesn't grade it for you or anything like that, but there is a schedule in there that is an option as a virtual seat. Is some of you might have that and you're like, what? I do have a math schedule. We have a math schedule because you have a virtual seat. It was an option that you put into the program when you purchased. So again, it doesn't do correct. It's not an autocorrect or anything like that. It's a placeholder with a schedule for almost all of the math. And I know for sure it has Matthew C and Singapore. I know Right Start and Saxon kind of have their own, each of them have their own methodology. So I personally, as a homeschool mom, did one lesson a day. And if it got to be too much, then I broke up one lesson into 2 days. And if it was super simple, I let them do 2 days in one day. So I really want to encourage you to just get started and find the rhythm that's going to work for you and your family. Again, you can find some resources. There was a boot camp member who said that she was able to find one for her 3rd grade Singapore, but not for her kindergarten Singapore. And I'm not sure, I didn't really use Singapore at kindergarten. So it may just be because it's one of those things that if they get it, you can do more. And if they need to, you need to slow down, go ahead and do it. I would say look at the amount of lessons. And I don't mean like sometimes they're just lettered and then it's like A1, A2, A3. Like a lesson has several different days in that lesson. But I would say pull it out, get started. Stop when your student is done. They, at this age, especially at the younger ages, remember the 20-10 rule or 5-10 rule, whatever's going to work for you and your family. Have fun with your math. And when it starts to get complicated or frustrating, take a break. All right. Look at how many there are. I know with one of the programs, it's like 180 lessons. And so we give you 144 book days in BookShark. So then that's when I'd say sometimes we would skip an extra practice or we would do an extra lesson in one day if it was a super simple concept. Very flexible. I hope that is helpful. I do sympathize because I understand here you have this very laid out curriculum with BookShark, and then all of a sudden with your math, we're like, oh, just do what works for you. But math is a totally different animal, as we all remember from our days. And whether you're a math guru or you just couldn't understand it to save your life, it is definitely its own language. And so give it some time, find some resources, email customer service. They will give you our standard answer of what they have found, typically works over a school year. And I hope that is helpful to you as you get started. All right, I'm going to wrap up. There's really the only things that came up for this week. On Wednesday, I'll be doing a live. It'll be our final live. It's our bonus session. I'll be talking about really practical things about what your life around homeschool could look like and some tips to help you make it the best year possible. I hope that you guys have a wonderful Monday, a great start to your week, and I will see you Wednesday. Bye.